Hello all. I hope my voice is audible. So, quick reply on chat if my voice is audible. Okay. Thank you very much for your response. We'll be starting the session in another 10 minutes. So, let us wait for all the participants to join. We'll start the session in 10 minutes. Thank you all for joining. Hello, all. Very good evening to all of you. Thank you all for gathering here to be a part of this session and complete a project. So, hereby, we'll be looking today on building a machine learning model with IBM Watson. Before I start, I hope my voice is audible and is clear. Thank you very much for your reply on chat. So, let us quickly start the session. So before I start, let me know how many of you here are already versed with, at least the basics of machine learning. Anybody who has a prior knowledge on machine learning? Yes. So what do you think is machine learning? What is machine learning in your uh, thought? I request all of you to stay muted throughout the session so that it doesn't disturb anybody else. If you have anything, please type it on the chat so that we can. Yeah. So Madhumita says we train the machine by using algorithms. Okay. Anything else by anybody else? Right. So just quickly going inside and understanding first in the first place what is machine learning. Okay. So as the name suggests, machine learning is training the machine, making the machine understand your data. Okay. So when I say making the machine understand the data, what does it mean? What does it mean? Making it capable of taking a decision based on the input given to it. Okay. So generally, how do we work as human? Whenever we get some information or some input, our brain analyzes that input and gives the output, right? Based on the experience we had or based on the knowledge which we gained, right? In the similar way, in machine learning, machine tries to understand the data which we have given and uses that understanding or that knowledge which it has gained to predict the future or to understand the new data. Am I clear? Are you all able to understand what I mean by machine learning? Great. So, what we are trying to do here is we, instead of telling what decision to take, we are just giving the data and making the machine understand by itself in order to take a decision. Okay. So now let me go further and show you what is the difference between your general programming and a machine learning algorithm and how does it work. Okay. So let us first understand the traditional programming approach. How do you program a machine generally? Normally, when you write a piece of code, how does it work? You write a program, right? And then you give some input to that program, and based on your program, it generates an output. Yes or no? Yes or no? You write a simple piece of code. In that particular code, you give some input to it, and it it goes through the entire program and performs the calculations, or it goes through the loops and then it gives you the output. Is that not how your traditional programming works, right? So let us take an example of our traditional programming and try to understand it in a better way. So we have a small use case where we are trying to understand whether the vehicle is, in normal speed, or it is overspeeded, or it is slow. Okay. So how do you write the code? You say when the vehicle speed, that is the input which we are getting, is greater than 100. If it is greater than 100, then it is overspeed. If it is greater than 40 and is below 100, then what we say, it is a normal speed. Otherwise, we say it is slow speed, right? So this is the program which we write, and we give as an input, we give the speed of the vehicle. Okay. And then what is the expected output? It will either say overspeed, normal, or slow based on the conditions which we wrote, based on the input which we give. Yes, I hope this is a very common approach and very much clear to all of us, right? Yes or no? Answers on chat, please. Is it not the everyday approach which we follow? Right. So now let us look into something which is called machine learning. How are we going to give and train the model? Okay. So in this case, what we do is we give it the data, we tell it what are the possible outputs, and now we leave it to the machine to understand the data and the given output to build a model. Okay. Build something called as model. Okay. So now, ma'am, what is this model? What is this model going to do? Model is something which will store your information. Okay. So now what it will do is it will generalize the data. Okay. Let me give you an example and explain you this. In the same way, what is what is the output for your previous example? The output is whether it is overspeed, it is normal speed, or it is slow, right? What is the data which we are going to give? We give the vehicle speed. Okay. So while we are training the model, what we do is we give it a set of complete data set, something called as data set. Okay. So ma'am, what is a data set now? Data set is a collection of inputs. Okay. So all the possible inputs. So what I do is I give different speeds. I say 100 and I say it is normal speed. I say 120, it is high speed. 80, normal speed. 30, slow. Like that, I make a big data set, okay, in an Excel with different speeds. I write whether it is normal speed, over speed, or slow. I give this Excel sheet to my machine and I say this is the possible output which I can get. Okay. Now the model will start understanding the data. It will see the first row. It will say, okay, 100 is there. Okay. If it is 100, it is normal speed. It remembers. Okay. Now it generates a rule saying if it is 100, it is normal speed. Then it sees what? Then it sees 80 and it sees normal speed. So it says if the speed is between 80 to 100, it should be normal speed. It generated a rule now. Okay. Now again, next it sees 30 and it is slow speed. So it says, okay, anything which is 30 and below should be slow speed. Okay. Then it sees 120 and it is the output which we gave was what? Overspeed. So it says, okay, so anything above 100 goes overspeed. So it generates rule. Okay. So machine, after seeing your data in the Excel format or however you are giving, it will try to generate few rules. Now in future, whenever you give an input, it will go searching those rules and accordingly it will give you the output. Got my point? How many of you are clear with this? How many of you are clear with this? Yeah, cool. So I got maximum answers. So now let us go further and understand how this process actually happens. Okay, so that is, we'll understand the life cycle of a machine learning model. Okay, how will it start and where will it end? Okay, the first step is, as we know, what will be the first step? We want the data. We want the machine to understand the data, right? So we have to collect the data in the first place. Got it? So what is the first step? First step is collection of data. Once you have collected the data, then we move to the next step, which is called data wrangling. What is data wrangling? Anybody who heard this term data wrangling before? Anybody who heard this term data wrangling before? No. Okay. Where do you think we collect the data from? We said collection of data. So can anybody tell me, where do we collect this data from? From Kaggle, okay. Database or data warehouse, okay. I request all of you to send message to everyone so that everybody can see your answers or your questions. Whenever I answer, it will not be new to others. Okay, so please select everybody, everyone, and then send the message. Okay, so uh, data can be collected from repositories like Kaggle. Okay, data can be scrapped from the web pages. Data can come from real time, that is from your environment. Okay, you have placed some sensors somewhere, from there you can get the data. Yes or no? You can get the data from what do we call collection, you send a form to everybody and ask them to fill the information which you want. Okay, and there when they fill based on their opinion, you create an Excel sheet and that becomes your data which you are going to use. Like Madhumita said, database or data warehouse. From there you can get the data. Okay, so these are the different sources from where you get the data. But do you think always you get all the attributes which you want, or there are chances to miss few data? How many of you tell always the data which I'm getting is completely perfect? The real time data is completely perfect without any missing values or without any deviations. What I mean by deviation is, uh, see, I ask you to enter the gender. Okay, I expect you to write male or female. Okay, but somebody goes and writes F and M there. Okay, so do you think this need not be worked on, or it can be left just like that? Yes. So data is never perfect. Okay, so there is always missing data, random data, data which does not suit to your requirement. Okay, so that data needs to be worked on. Okay, and that is the process is known as data wrangling or data pre-processing. That is, you're pre-processing the data before you use it. Okay, pre-processing in the sense what? Working on that, changing it or correcting it before you actually use it. Okay, so all those steps come under this data wrangling. Okay, so now that you have, now what you are trying to do, you collected the raw data, you converted that raw data into proper format, in the format which you required. Now the next step is analyzing the data. What do you mean by analyzing the data? What do you mean by analyzing the data? Drawing inferences from it, right? See, like if I have taken a survey, you have to, I mean, like what do I mean by analyzing that data? How many female has given the survey? How many male gave the survey? Okay, otherwise what is the uh, you know how, which data is going to affect my output? Finding that out. Okay, visualizing the data, finding information which is required by me actually. okay, to get the output, removing the noise. Okay, so now I'll take an example of having the city name and also the pin code. Do you think both the things are required? Do you think both are required? Having the pin code and the city in data is required, do you think? Definitely not, right? Every city will have a unique pin code. So if you use pin code, that is more than sufficient, right? Or either use city only, right? So when you analyze the data and look which columns are similar, you can remove those similar items and then you can work on. Yes or no? Having noise in your data is never useful for you. Okay, so training similar kind of data, right? So what you do is you remove one, or you you know, change your data accordingly and then use it. So analysis of data will help you understand which is important for your model and which is not. Got my point? The next step is training and testing your algorithm. Okay, so now that you have data, you give this data to your machine and let it get trained. Okay, so once the training is done and it generates a set of rules, which is called a model, what we do is we test that particular algorithm, okay, to check whether we are getting the required output or not. Got it? Then further, what we do is after we make sure that you have particular accuracy and your model is working well, then you deploy your model. Okay, so this is the life cycle of a machine learning model. We start with collecting the data, okay, cleaning the data, analyzing the data, training the algorithm, and deploying it to make it useful for the end user. Am I clear, everybody? Shall I move further? Then, so now that we have understood the life cycle of machine learning, we should also know how many types are there. Okay, so we shall discuss the types of machine learning now. The first type of machine learning is supervised learning. What do you mean by supervised? Anybody who can tell me what do you mean by supervised? What is supervised? When I say under supervision, what do I mean by that? Using labeled data, monitoring in the presence of a supervisor. Yes, so all of you are correct. Okay, so it is like doing something under monitoring or under supervision. That is, there is somebody who will tell this is the expected thing. Okay, so in terms of machine learning, supervised learning means where you have data which is labeled. Now, what do you mean by having labeled data? That's the first question, right? Labeled data in the sense having data which is containing inputs along with the output. Okay, as in the previous example which we took, where we were talking about the speed of a vehicle, what did we do? We mentioned speed and we also wrote the label, the output label which we were getting, okay, in the Excel sheet which I was mentioning, right? What I was trying to do, I said speed is 100 and I said the label is normal, okay. Then I said speed is 30, the label is slow, right? So there I have my input, that is the vehicle speed, and the output, that is my whether it is slow, over speed, or normal speed. Okay, so examples of that kind, which is having the input along with the output, is called as what? Supervised machine learning. Okay, so here you clearly know what is the expected output, right? Got my point, everybody? Then, ma'am, when I know the output, why do I have to use machine learning? Is that not the next question which you get in your brain? If that is your question, we use this for future prediction. That is, when in future I train my model with this labeled data, okay? And in future, whenever there is a new data, random data which is coming, I can predict what will be the expected outcome for that particular new data, and I make sure that is accurate because I previously understood with completely labeled data. Got my point? Everybody. Shall we move further? Yes. The next one is unsupervised learning. So, you can actually understand. Supervised learning happened under supervision, that is, the output clearly there. Unsupervised, which is completely opposite. Here you have data which is not having the output. Got my point? So here you have data which is having only inputs. Now the machine's job is to categorize them based on the input. Now let me give you an example for this. Let us take a small kid. Okay, I throw a few fruits in front of him. Okay, oranges, few bananas, few apples. I throw in front of him. Okay, the. I mean, like that child is now like a machine. Okay, he doesn't know anything. That small kid does banana. But what will he do? When I randomly put everything in front of me, he will start segregating them based on its shape, size, color, right? He can put oranges together, but he never know they are oranges. He will put bananas together, but he doesn't know it is banana, right? So he will group them, separate them, but he actually doesn't know what it is. What is the output? Okay. So in the similar way, machine will separate it, categorize them, but it will not give a name to that category. Okay. It will say these are all things similar and it will form into one cluster. Okay. We call them as clusters. All the similar data are put in one cluster and it is named some cluster 1. Okay. Like that, it forms different clusters. Okay. We give some new data to it and then it tells to which cluster it belongs to. Got my point? Everybody. So, ma'am, when I give some random data, how do I know whether it is right or wrong? Okay. That kid will never know whether he is rightly placing oranges together, bananas together, or apples together. But child's mom will always know whether it is right or wrong, right? So here the evaluation will be expert evaluation. Okay. So how that happens is the expert, after seeing the data, he will analyze and come to a decision whether the machine is performing the classification or the categorization, the clustering process which it is, correctly or not. Okay. So whether there are any problems in it or not. Based on experience, you get to know, right? The human will get to know whether it is correct or not. If it is not correct, you train it again. Got it, everybody? Shall we move further? Yes. So the next one is reinforcement learning. Okay. So this is something called as reward-based learning. Okay. So what do you mean by reward-based learning is whenever you do a thing correctly, I mean like whenever machine does something correctly, then we give it a positive reward, that is points. Okay. We give it some points, positive points. Okay. So based on the reward, whether it is getting positive rewards or negative rewards, it will start understanding what to do. Okay. Now let me give you a simple example. Consider a robot. Okay. We have made a small robot which is going to move in your house. Okay. Definitely it will have obstacles, right? So what we will do is, I say that the robot should move from point A to point B. Okay. When it is rightly moving from point A to point B, I give it positive reward. When I feel my robot is going away, I mean, away from my destination point, then I start giving it negative reward. Whenever it receives a negative reward, it understands what I'm doing is wrong. So I will have to correct my path. Okay. So standing at A, it will first go straight. I give it a negative point. So it understands I should not go straight. I should, okay, let me try going left. When it goes left, I give it negative reward again. So it comes back to its original position and now it takes a right. Okay. I say again a negative reward. Okay. So then it understands, okay, I should not move further. I should not go front or left or right. I have to go back. That's the right way. Now, when it goes back, I give it a positive reward. Okay. Now it will take another step front. I give it a positive reward. Like that, whenever it is doing correctly, it is positively rewarded. Okay. And whenever it is going wrong, it is negatively rewarded. Okay. So based on the reward it is getting, it will understand how to, uh, change itself. So based on the environment, according to the environment, it will act. Got my point? Everybody. Yes. So these are the types of machine learning. Today we'll be focusing on supervised learning, and supervised learning is classified into two types: regression and classification. Okay. So what I mean by regression is when your output. What is supervised learning? I told you will have clearly defined outputs, right? You will have out input along with the output. When your output is continuous type, okay, then it is called as regression. When your output is having classes, finite number of classes, then it is called classification. Example for regression will be the salary. Okay, in a company, salary of an employee is indefinite. Okay, it is not. You can't say that only it can be 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000. No other salary is there. Is that the case? Is that the case? Tell me. Will the sal? I mean, like, is it like the salary is only 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000? In a company, the salary can be only these three values. No. Profit of a company. Can I say the profit of a company can be 30,000, 50,000 or 70,000? No other value. Definitely not, right? The salary of an employee can vary from a rupee to some lakh. The profit of a company again can vary from a rupee to some lakhs or crores, right? It is indefinite. You can't say it is only five values or 10 values like that. You can't say it can be anything, any numeric number. It is a continuous value, right? So those kind of examples go into regression type. Okay. Now coming to classification, gender of a person. It is only two types or three types at max, right? Male, female, and others. So you have finite number of classes there. You can say the output is either this, that, or something else. So if the output is only two classes, we call it as binary classification. But if the output is having more than two classes, then it is called multi-class classification. Got my point, everybody? So under regression, the algorithms which we have are linear regression, multilinear regression, polynomial, decision tree, and random forest. You have many more. These are the ones popularly used. And under classification, you have decision tree, random forest, KNN, SVM, and naive Bayes. Again, you have many more, but these algorithms which I have listed are the popular ones which are mostly used. Okay, so we shall now go and build a model, machine learning model, and understand. Okay, so how many of you understood what is machine learning till now? How many of you understood what is machine learning? Everybody clear? Shall we proceed further? Right. So today we will be working on a project called Health Insurance Premium. Okay. So I'll give you the link where you have to enroll and all. Let us go and complete that process. Okay. So I have given a link in the chat. I've given a link in the chat. Everybody, can you check that out? Everybody. So just to give you a glance of what is this project about. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to understand what is the insurance premium which a person has to pay. Okay, so based on different factors. Okay, so that is this project all about. And for to complete this project, we are going to use IBM Cloud. Okay, so how many of you here already have a cloud account? How many of you here already have a cloud account? Okay, so I got few yes. Okay, I'll quickly tell you the steps of creating the cloud account. You can follow those steps and create an account. Okay, so before that, please everybody open the link which I have given in the chat section. I'm giving it again. Open this link. Quickly open this link and click on enroll. Open this link and click on enroll. It will take you to this student login page. Okay, so if you were already a part of Smart Interns, then you can give your username password directly login. But if you were not, click on registration, fill in your details here and click on register. Okay, as it will take time for you, I am doing the process. I have already created registered, and then I am just trying to log in. Okay, so I have enrolled for the project. Okay, so generally once you have completed the login, it will lead to this page, and here you will get the enroll button again for some. So you can click on enroll. Once you enroll, it will take you to your student dashboard. Okay, so this is the project which I have enrolled for. Okay, so this is how it looks. Okay, so here if you just go to guided labs, you will have the information there. You can learn about machine learning, supervised learning, the scikit-learn package, regression, machine learning model, everything. Okay, so how you have to work, the basic knowledge, the prerequisite knowledge, you can get it from here. Okay, under guided labs. Okay, so once you feel you are good with the introductory steps, whatever I've spoken in detail, it will be there in this. Then you can just click on this project page and click on go to project workspace. Okay, so when you click on it, you will be on page something like this. Okay, so here you have few instructions. Please go through the instructions, and then if you see here, you have this green color button kind of thing. Okay, so if you click on it, you will get the project flow. You will get the project flow. Okay, so in this flow you will be clearly explained on what is the project and how you have to work on it. Okay, so each and every step is clearly explained. So if you see, the project description is given, what is the architecture. Okay, so then if you just click on project objectives, it will give you the objective of the project, what is the flow of, I mean, like how, what all steps you are going to follow. Okay, what is the prerequisite. Okay, so everything is here. How to create the IBM services, how to build a machine learning model in the IBM cloud, and how to build a UI for it. Okay, so these are all the steps. So to keep a track of all the process, we have this task and progress section. Okay, here you will have all your tasks. Like under creating the IBM services, you have your what Watson Studio creation and noded creation. So once you have created the service, you can move this to in progress, and once you feel this is all done, you can move it to review section. Okay, once you put your task into review section, if you see, the progress percentage has changed, right? So I'll move this also and I'll show you. On top you have the overall percentage, right? So this is zero for before. Now when I refresh this page, this percentage is changed because I have completed two of the tasks. Okay, so like that you can keep a track of your work. So now if I go to the next task, under this I have collection of data, working with a project on Watson Studio, all the steps. These steps I'll be explaining in the cloud, so don't worry about that. So these steps, once I do one step, what I'll do is, once I start, I move it to in progress. Once I finish this step, I move it to review. When you move a particular task to review, what will happen is the mentor will check your project, and if it is completed, he will move it to complete. Okay, then you can interact with the mentor by clicking on, if you just go to, yeah, so here under each task you have the comment. If you just click on comment, you can write a comment here. Okay, so I'm writing completed. Please, you don't write completed or something like that. If you have any query related to that particular task, so write those queries there and click on send. When you click on send, under mentor review section, your comment will be visible. Okay, so whenever the mentor replies, the mentor reply will be given here. Got it? So that's how this mentor review section will work. Okay, so your files, you will have to push it into the GitHub. Okay, so you can collaborate with our GitHub account, GitHub repositories, and then once you get collaborated, you can push your files inside. Okay, the process for collaboration and all, you will get it a bit later. Okay, so this is how your platform looks like. Everybody clear? Can you all, I mean, like, did you all understand this? If you have any problem, you can refer to the recorded video also. No problem. We'll give you that link. It is live on YouTube. So if you just go to our YouTube channel, Smart Bridge, there you will find the recording. So I'll give you the link of the YouTube link towards the end of the session. Don't worry. Okay. So now let us go and build the project. Okay, I'll not waste much of the time on the platform. It is actually self-explanatory. If you click, you will be understanding everything. If you still have any queries, you can connect with the mentors I just showed you. Okay, so now let us go and create the cloud accounts for the ones who don't have the cloud account. Okay, everybody please open this link, cloud.ibm.com. I've given the link in the chat section. Please check out the link, open the link. If you don't have the account, just open that link which I have given. Give your email ID. Okay, verify your email ID. Once you give the email ID, you will have a small arrow mark here. Just click on it. It will verify. Then give the password. Okay, everybody opened this link. Are you on the same page like where I am, or do you want me to wait for a moment? People, if you have the cloud accounts, you can work along with me. Otherwise, you can't follow. You'll just be listening, right? So just let me know if you are all creating your cloud accounts or you already have, so that accordingly I can proceed. How many want me to tell you the steps of creation also? Okay. Anybody who want me to tell the steps again, or is it fine? See, people, if your account, your trial account is completed, please create another Gmail account and create once more. Okay, because if you want, then go ahead and make the payment and use it. Otherwise, if you want to skip that part, you have to create a new account and then you will have to use that. Okay. So once you give your email ID and password, click on next. So this will send an email to your mail ID, which will contain the code. So if I just refresh my mail, I should receive an email from IBM Cloud. And here with my 7-digit verification code, I copy it, I paste it here. Click on next again, it will ask you some personal details. Okay, so just give those details and click on next. So with this, you can create an account. That simple it is. Okay, what you'll do, you'll give your email ID, give the password, verify your email by copying the code which is sent to your email and pasting it here. Then just give your personal information like your first name and last name, and then click on create your account. That's it. Your account is created. Okay. So it will take a while it is created, and it will launch you onto your dashboard. For the people who already have your accounts, please go to cloud.ibm.com. Cloud.ibm.com. The link is given in the chat section. Open this link and give your username, password, login into your account. Without doing anything, just click on proceed if you have created a new account. Right. So is everybody on the dashboard? Is everybody on the dashboard? Shall we proceed further? Right. So dashboard is something where you will find all your resources which you have created. Okay, already created resources. As you saw, this is a new account which I have created just now. I don't have any resources for now. Okay, so I have to create one. But if you already have resources, you will find few options here like Cloud Foundry apps, services, Cloud Foundry storage like that. Okay, so you can go ahead and use the already created one. As is a trial account, you can have only one instance per service. Okay, what I mean by that, I'll tell you. Okay, so tell me, how many of you already have the Watson Studio with you? How many of you already have Watson Studio and Node-RED with you? If you have, that's well and good. Please just go to services here. If you have, just wait for a minute. Let me create one for the people who don't have, and then let us proceed. Okay. So for creating any service, you have to go to this catalog which is on the top. Go to catalog, and here you can search for Watson Studio, or you directly have it here. So just click on Watson Studio. For the people who already have, please don't do this again. As I told you, you can have only one instance per service. So please don't create again. It will not let you create again. If you don't have, please create. Okay. So select the region to be London or Dallas. Okay. Make sure you are under life plan, that is free one. check the name of it. If you want, you can change it, but I prefer leaving it like that and click on create. For the people who don't have Watson Studio, please go to catalog, search for Watson Studio, open it, change the location to be London or Dallas, check if it is light plan, okay, and then click on create. Okay, everybody done? So for the people who already have Watson Studio created, so you will all be on the dashboard, right? From the dashboard, you will have something called as services. Click on services. From the dashboard, click on services and open Watson Studio. Under services, you will find Watson Studio. Open it. Everybody will be on this page. Is everybody here along with me? Everybody here along with me? Okay. Now click on get started. Click on get started. Click on get started. So while it loads, let us go and just excuse me for a moment. I'll have to log out. So how many of you already have Node-RED with you? How many of you already have Node-RED? How many of you have Node-RED? Okay. So I see few of you already have, but let me just give you those steps also for a moment. Okay. So by the time this loads, yeah, I'm giving the steps of creating the Node-RED again. Please just go to your dashboard again. So leave these tabs open, don't close them. Open a new tab, type cloud.ibm.com. So you will be on your dashboard. Open a new tab, type cloud.ibm.com. You will be on your dashboard. Please don't close the tabs which you have previously opened. Now go to catalog. Go to catalog. Here you have software, right? Click on software. Click on software. Search for Node-RED. Node-RED. And you will have something called as Node-RED app. Click on it. Search for Node-RED. You'll find something called as Node-RED app. Just click on it. Done, everybody? People who don't have the account, who don't have Node-RED, did you do this? For the people who already have, please don't do anything. For the people who don't have, please do these steps. Now here, click on create. Click on create. It will have some random name. Don't change it. Okay. Just go down. See if the location is London. Okay. And then click on create. Done, everybody? Did you all click on create? People who don't have. Yes. So now if you see, you should be able to see something called as Cloudant, and it is getting the details. So it will fetch these details in a while, and once this fetching the details is done, you will find this deploy your app button highlighted. Okay. This deploy your app will get highlighted once this service credentials have been provisioned, that is fetched. So it will take a while, 2 to 3 minutes. So once that is done, we can proceed. Okay. Everybody got like this? Deploy your app button in blue color, highlighted. If you have got it, click on deploy your app. Click on deploy your app and select Cloud Foundry here. Select Cloud Foundry here. Okay. Once you select Cloud Foundry, it will ask you for the API key. Just click on new. Don't change anything here and directly click on OK. Once you select Cloud Foundry, click on this new plus button. Don't change anything in the pop-up, directly click on OK. It will autofill your API key. Everybody done till here? People who do not have Node-RED, did you all do it? Done till here? Once this is done, see, here when the region is London, sorry, Dallas, you don't have these details, organization and space details, right? So when you don't get these details auto-filled, what you have to do is just go to the drop-down in region and select the other regions. Select a region where these things get auto-filled, okay? All of you got the organization and space details? Okay, so my account has logged out. Once you get those details, just scroll down and click on create. Sorry, next. Click on next. Got it, everybody? Select Cloud Foundry, just click on new plus and then click on OK. People, if you are having any issue, just reload the page, go back and try to reopen it again. That will help. If it is not able to fetch your organization details, please go reopen, like log out and log in again and check. In case if you are still not getting, just delete your app and then recreate it. Okay. So how to do that is just go to your dashboard, click on apps, go to your dashboard, click on apps, delete the app which is already created, and recreate it. For the people who already have Node-RED, if you just see this Cloud Foundry app, under this you will find your Node-RED. Do you all have it? People who already have Node-RED, do you find that? Do you get that? Yes. So just click on it, open Node-RED. Open Node-RED. If you're creating again, please delete your your cloud and also, which is under services. Okay. People, please try changing region and check. Might be under servicing or it is busy. So in few locations you might not get. So that might also be one of the issue. Change your locations and try. That will. These are the only two reasons possible. One reason is that it is not able to fetch because of your slow internet or something. So log out, log in again, try. If you're still not getting, change the location. Okay, change the location to some other thing. Previously I've used London, now I'm using Sydney. So I hope this works. For the people who already have it, let me show you that for them also. Are you all able to see my screen? Everybody able to see my screen? So when you have an account which is already created, you will have something like this. This is how your dashboard looks. Okay. For the people who already created Node-RED, so if you just click on Cloud Foundry apps, you will have Node-RED. Click on it. Okay. And here you will get visit app URL button. Click on that. For the people who don't have, please go to catalog and try creating it. For some reason, this is not getting auto-filled in my thing because of the internet problem, I hope. But for the others, it should get auto-filled. Once this is auto-filled, please just click on next. Okay. So I don't want to waste my time spending on this. So just click on what? Just select the region and these things get auto-filled. Once things get auto-filled, click on next. Okay. So after giving next, you'll be asked to choose a location. People maximum try to choose London or Dallas. So just give the location to be London or Dallas in the next page which you are getting there, and then click on create. Okay, so it will start the deployment process, which I'm not able to show because it is not able to fetch my details. So once that is done, once you are done creating the deploying the app, there you will, the place where you had this deploy app button, right? I'll show you. In that particular place, you will get it as in progress. In the beginning, it will say no stages detected. Then it will move to in progress. Then at some point, it will say the status to be success. Okay, so here, under deployment automation, this part, this will be changed to some small, you will get few status kind of thing. There it will be changing. Okay, so it will say no stages detected, in progress, and then it will move to success. So once it is success, go back to your dashboard, go back to your dashboard, and in the dashboard, under Cloud Foundry apps, like I was showing right here, under Cloud Foundry apps, you will find Node-RED. Okay. here. If you just click on Cloud Foundry apps, you will find Node-RED. You can just simply open this and then you can use it. Got it, everybody? Now that it is not getting created, I can't show you those steps. I'll definitely give you the PDF of creation. If you have any issues, you can just write to me. Okay, I'll give you my email ID at the end. So just open this particular Node-RED. It will lead you onto a page where you can just click on visit app URL. Okay. For the people who are creating Node-RED just now, it will just give you few, it will give you a page where you will have to click next. Okay. So just click on next till the end and then click on finish. Then it will give you this page. Click on go to Node-RED Flow Editor. Okay. So this is how you open Node-RED. Got it, everybody? I've already created the Node-RED, so that I'm showing because the newly creation is not happening for some reason. It is not able to fetch my details. Okay. Let us go and work with the Watson Studio, which we have created. Opening Node-RED. People, Node-RED opening steps, I'll tell you. Let us start the training of our model first. Okay. I'll once more try in a while to create Node-RED from here. Hopefully before the session ends, if it gets created, I'll show it to you. Okay. Otherwise, I'll note down the steps and that steps list, I'll send it to you, right? So towards the end of the session, that I'll deal with. Okay. So in the previous tab, we have opened our Watson Studio, right? Something like this. This is the page where we were, right? We kept these tabs open. So if you are new, this is how it looks. But if you have already created, it will look in a different way. I'll show you that. Okay. So this is the new Watson Studio which we have created. We click on continue. Okay. So when I click on continue, it will take a while. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes, Hari Krishna, to get successful in the Node-RED deployment. Okay. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So when you click on continue, this is the page where you were. This is the page which you will get. Now click on go to IBM Cloud Pack for data. Okay. So for the people who had Node-RED, Watson Studio previously, you will be directly coming onto this page. Okay. For the people who created just now, they'll have to press 2 extra buttons. That's it. So everybody on this page now, at least everybody on this page. Is everybody on this page? Yes. So now what we have to do is we will first create a project and then inside that we will create, it is loading, okay. It will take some time to load, don't worry, okay. So here we will create a project. How do we create a project? Just click on this create a project, hyperlink is there, right? Click on create a project. Here we are going to create an empty project, okay, and inside that empty project we'll add whatever we want. Okay, so just click on create an empty project and it will redirect you to this page. Everybody here, or you want me to wait for a moment? Is everybody here? Yeah, so shall we proceed? Yes. So give a name to your project, whatever name you want. So here we are going to do insurance, right? Health insurance premium prediction. So I'll give insurance prediction. Okay, give the name of the project. Now, if you see it is asking you to select the storage service, so click on add. Click on add. When you click on add, you will be redirected to this particular page. Okay. Don't change anything here. Don't change anything here. Directly click on create. What we are trying to do is, we have created Watson Studio. We are trying to create a project inside it. When you are creating the project, that project has to go and use some storage, right? So that storage service which is required to store these files, we are creating that now. Okay. Once you have created, it will again come back to this page. Just click on this refresh, the step 2 refresh button, and it will add the cloud object storage here. Everybody done till here? Everybody done till here? Yes. Once you are done, click on create. Click on create. So once you clicked on create, are everybody on this particular page? Everybody on this particular page? Yes. So this is your project page. Okay. So you can add something to your project. You can change the project settings. You can do multiple things. So this is the overall overview of your project. So how many bytes it is using in the storage. Okay. Who all can access your project, the collaborators. Okay. So what are the recent activities, everything. If you just click on assets, it will give you the assets of what type of things, like in your project. If you are working on a project, you will have data files, model files, everything, right? So all those files are listed down here. Okay, so once we start creating the project, working on them, you will get different headings here that I'll show you in a while. Okay, so the environments here, in which environment your project is. So if you want, you can add some environments. Jobs, you can create jobs, and whenever you create a job, your job will be found here. So who can access those collaborators, you can add here. And then you can change the settings of your project, like the name of the project you can change, the storage, this you can't change, but you can at least view how many bytes and all. So you can go associate some services with your project here. Okay, so like that you have multiple options. So now our project is empty, we don't have any files here at all. How do we add is, on the top you have add to project button. Click on this add to project. Click on this add to project. Once you click on this add to project, you will have different options here. Okay, you can add a data asset to your project. Okay, so connection is having connected data. So those connected data you can add it here, or you can create a notebook. How many of you here are aware about Jupyter IDE of Python? How many of you? So that kind of Jupyter notebook, if you want to create and code from scratch, you can click on notebook and create it. Okay, so you can use your visual recognition, that is, train a model which will understand and classify the images. If you want, you can do that. You can build a modular flow. Okay, you can use natural language classifier or any other options here. Okay, our main aim today is to work with auto AI. That is, you will give it the data, it will automatically generate a model. Okay, so instead of you writing some codes and all, it will do an automatic process. So that auto AI is what we are going to use. Click on auto AI experiment. Click on add to project and click on auto AI experiment. Done everybody till there? Done everybody till there? Everybody on this page where I am? Yes, cool. So now what you have to do is, give a name to your project. Give a name to your project here, auto AI experiment. So I'm saying insurance experiment. Okay, give a name, and then if you see what is your machine learning model. I mean, like what you want to build here, a machine learning model. So for that, you will require the machine learning service to be attached to your auto AI. Okay. So then what you will do is click on this associated machine learning service instance. Click on associated machine learning service instance. If you see, I don't have any services here. Okay, machine learning service is not available. For in your case, if you have the machine learning service, you can just select it. As I don't have it, I am clicking on new service. For the people who already have machine learning there, just wait for a minute. I'll tell you how to proceed. For the people who don't have machine learning, just click on new service and then select machine learning from here. Select machine learning and click on create. Don't change anything, click on create. Check the region. If you want, you can change the region. Don't change anything else. Okay. After this gets created, now here it will show. Okay. So now it is showing me the machine learning service. Hari Krishna, what you want me to explain again? Do you have machine learning like this here on this particular page? Are you able to see machine learning like this, what I'm having? If you have machine learning here, you need not create. But if you don't have this one, click on new service. Click on new service. Here you will have machine learning. Click on machine learning. Okay. And on this particular page, directly click on create. Okay. It will get created and you will get machine learning like this. Got it, everybody? Hare Krishna, is this fine? Yes. Now what you have to do is just click on this checkbox like this. Just click on the checkbox. And on top you will find associate service button. Click on associate service. Okay. Everybody done? Click on the checkbox. You will find associate service on the top. Click on associate service. Done? Now click on reload. Click on reload. Done, everybody? Done, everybody till here? Yes. Now click on create. Once this machine learning service is associated, just click on create. Click on create. Everybody on this page? Everybody on this page? Yes. Okay. Now it is asking you to add a data source, right? It is asking you to add a data source. I'll give you a link. So quickly from that link, please download the data set. You will find the data set in your student dashboard also. So if you just go to your student dashboard and click on build machine learning, here collect the data set. Here you have the link. Okay. So as most of you did not create the accounts in Smart Interns yet, maybe. So that's the reason I am giving the drive link. Okay. Just open this particular drive link. Open the drive link. download the insurance.csv file. Insurance.csv file. Everybody download the insurance.csv file. Everybody downloaded? All of you done? Shall I proceed? Yes. Okay. So once you have done downloading, now come back to your your Watson Studio, the Auto AI experiment page. Click on browse here. Click on browse. Click on browse. Go to the folder where you have stored your CSV file and select your insurance.csv file. Click on open. Got it, everybody? Click on browse. Go to the folder where you have stored your you have downloaded your file. Select the file and click on open. Now, once you are done, you will be redirected to this page. Okay, and from here now you can see the magic of Auto AI. You have given the file, it has estimated that the file size is 0.05 MB, and it also told us that it is having 7 columns. Okay, it has automatically got to know that my data set has 7 columns from the information which it is having. Now, this is not where it stops. It will ask you for the prediction column. If you just click on this, you will have lot of options here. Okay, let me show you the data set once. This is the data. This is the data set. Okay, if you see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 columns. Okay, what we are trying to do is we are trying to predict expenses, that is the insurance premium amount, based on the factors like age, gender, the BMI, well, I mean, like children or not, and then whether they are smoker or not, and then region where they live. Okay, number of children, everything. So based on these data. Okay, so now what it means is a person who is aged 19 years, who is a female, having BMI 27.9 and doesn't have any children, definitely, because 19 years, right? And then she is a smoker. She's from Southwest. Okay. So with these details, the medical expenses are 16,884. Okay. So that is how our data set is. We are trying to predict the expenses having these columns as the input. Okay. Now let us go here. If you see, it has rightly said that the age is of what? Integer type. Sex is of type string because female and male is of string type, right? BMI is a decimal because we have floating point values there. Children is an integer. Smoker is a string again, yes or no. Region is a string again, right? Southwest, northwest, southeast, northeast. And then expenses is what? Decimal. What is the prediction column out of all these? Expenses. Just select expenses. Okay. It has not only given you the column names, but it has also told which type of data is stored in that particular column. And now once you give the column name to it, with the prediction column, it will automatically decide whether it is a regression model or a classification model. Okay, so it is what? It is a regression type. Okay, and now you want to see what are the experiment settings, like which algorithms it is going to use. It says the metric which it is going to use for prediction will be RMSE, to know whether it is correct or not, to know the accuracy of the model and all, how well it is performing. It is using RMSE. If you want to change any of these, then what you can do is you can just click on experiment settings and you can see how the experiment is set. Okay, it is splitting the data set which we have given into train and test. Okay, why do we have to split the data set into train and test? The training data is used to build the model. The test data is kept aside while training, and it is used to know how well the model is performing. Okay, so it has kept 90% of data as the training data and 10% as the holdout data, that is with which it is going to check the model. Okay, these are all the columns, keeping aside the expenses column, which is the output. All these are the inputs. Now what you can do is, if I feel region is not important to calculate the experiment, I can remove it. Okay, any column which I feel is not required to be the what input, I can remove that. But here in this case, I want all these attributes to be present to calculate the expenses. Okay, now if you just click on prediction, it automatically removes binary classification because it knows it is not binary classification. It is having more than two unique values. Okay, so it can either be multi-class classification or regression. The auto AI experiment, Watson is intelligent enough to say it is a regression type. But by any chance, if you say it is not regression and if you want it to be multi-class classification, you can select it, which will actually result to different outputs. And here metric also you can change. The recommended one is RMSE for this model. If you want, you can change it to any other. The algorithms which it is going to get trained with is all these algorithms. If you feel you don't want some algorithm to be used, then you can simply remove that particular algorithm. I am letting every algorithm to be there. Okay, and number of pipelines are to be generated. So for now, what you can think is each pipeline will act as an algorithm. For now, you can understand it like that. Okay, for your easy understanding. Okay, and now if you just go to the runtime, you will see the runtime settings, how it is. Okay, now click on save settings. If you want to change anything, you can change. Otherwise, you can leave everything as it is. Just check everything and click on run experiment. Click on run experiment. Okay, so it will start running the experiment. Now you will see each and every step happening there. Okay, so if you see here, the data is being let me show you. I am see here under progress map. If you just click on swap view, you will get this particular view here. So first it will read the data, then it will split your data into training and testing. Then it will read the training data, pre-process the training data. Then it will select model and perform. Each algorithm is performed here. Got my point? So this is what is happening. In the other view also, you will be seeing the same thing. Okay. Everybody got it here? Got it till here? Everybody? Are you all on the same page where I am? So once this process is completed, you will get the dashboard, okay, pipeline dashboard, which will give you the rank, the name of the model, algorithm, Okay, the RMSE score which it got, everything. Okay, so how much build time it took, everything. So these details you will get it. I'll show you once this training is completed. Okay. So by the time this model gets trained and it starts working, we shall go and create a web UI. Okay. So having a model simply is not sufficient, right? What you want, it should be used by the end user. Okay. So once after deployment, how it has to work and all those things, we'll have to create a small UI. To create that UI, we are going to use Node-RED. Got it, everybody? So that is where we are going to use Node-RED. So everybody open your Node-RED. On a new tab, I think you will all have Node-RED. So just open Node-RED. I will write down the steps of creating the Node-RED once again in the notepad. So for the people who are not able to create Node-RED, please just check with these steps. The first step is what? Everybody able to see my notepad? Able to see my notepad? Go to catalog, search for Node-RED. Okay, click on Node-RED app. Then change the location to London or Dallas. And click on create. Okay, once you are done till here, then what you have to do on the launch page, after 2 to 3 seconds, okay, around 1 minute, after 1 minute, you will get deploy app button in blue color. Okay, click on deploy app, deploy your app, click on deploy your app. So on the launch page, select Cloud Foundry. Okay, after you select Cloud Foundry, what you will have to do, click on new plus button below. Okay, and on the pop-up, click on OK. Click on OK. Right? This will do what? This will autofill the on the top. Cloud Foundry is what it is written. Just Cloud Foundry will be written. It will not be like service or app. Nothing will be there. On the page, it will have Kubernetes, something else, and Cloud Foundry. So click on Cloud Foundry. This will autofill the API key. Okay. After this, what you have to do, select some region, select the region which will autofill organization and dev details. Okay. So these are the details which will get autofilled when you select the region. Okay. 10th one is click on next. 11th step is after you click on next, you will have to click on continue. It will lead to a new page. On the page, click on next. Okay. Sorry, click on create. right? So with this, what will happen is deployment automation will start the process. Okay. So under deployment automation, you will get status. Make sure, wait until uh, the status is success. Okay. So this is what you have to do. Once the status is success, once the status is success, go to dashboard by clicking on IBM Cloud on the left top corner. Okay. Click on Cloud Foundry app and there select Node-RED and some name. Node-RED, some name will be there. Okay, select Node-RED, right? Once that is done, once you have selected Node-RED, it will launch you on the launch page. Click on visit app URL. Okay, visit app URL. That will lead you region step. Once what you do is after the session, try it. Okay, if you are still not getting, then write a mail to me. I will definitely look into. Okay, only because if your internet is not proper, it will not be able to fetch the details. Okay, clicking visit app URL, you are not getting the site. Which site you are not getting? You will get a page where you will have to click on next. Okay, then it will lead to another page where click on not recommended. See, it will ask you for username and password when you click on next. First, when you click on next, it will ask you for username and password. You need not give the username and password. Simply click on not recommended. Okay, and check the box which is below it. Then click on next. Right, followed by two or three more next. You have to click directly until you get the finish button. Okay, so after that you will get a page where you will find go to Node-RED flow editor. Okay, click on it and Node-RED is launched. So first time you will have to do all these steps. From the next time you did not. Okay, directly you can simply click on visit app URL. It will lead you to go to Node-RED editor flow, Node-RED flow editor, and then it will be launched. You will be on to this page. Okay, so all these steps I'll give it to you. I'll put it in the drive itself. Okay, so in the drive link which I have shared to you, I'll put it after the session is done. So you can just go through these steps. If you still not get it, you can just write to me to work with. So how many of you have previously worked with Node-RED? Anybody who did? Anybody who previously worked with Node here and has a basic idea? Yeah. Hello. I'm sorry, people. I just got disconnected. So yeah. So on the launch page, see, once after you are done with, first time if you are opening it, you will have to do all the procedure which I have told. That procedure I'll put it in the drive. But if you have already created, if you just click on Node-RED, then you will be onto a page where you have to click on visit app URL. If visit app URL is not highlighted, please go to actions towards your right corner. Okay. In actions, you will find stat. Okay. Click on that stat. And if you click on stat, then it will restart the app and then you will be able to see the visit app URL. Click on visit app URL. Okay. Yeah. So uh, somebody is asking me that you have used the entire space available. Okay. So in that case, you can simply do what is you can just go back. Okay. I'll show you that step. Just give me a moment. Okay. Until then, just wait. Before that, just let me know how many of you have previously worked with Node-RED. I'll show you the page. Until then, please just let me know how many of you have previously used Node-RED. I hope my voice is audible now, right? Yes. So, cool. If you have previously used, what is Node-RED? How do you build UIs in Node-RED? How do you build UI? Okay. It is a drag and drop editor. Okay. it is a drag and drop editor. Node-RED is a drag and drop editor. So how do you work with Node-RED is you simply drag the widgets, connect them, and then you will get the output. It's very simple. Okay. So for the people who never worked with Node-RED, I will be telling you how to work with it. People who already use Node-RED, we will try to build a UI. Okay. So in 5 to 10 minutes, will be working on that. Before that, as somebody was asking me that your Node-RED instance is full, what you can do is if it is 125 MB which is previously allocated, change it to 256 here. Just type 256 here, okay, and then it will restart your Node-RED. Then click on visit app URL, you will be on this page. Done? Please do that. Right. So what I was saying is Node-RED is a drag and drop editor. It is a flow based editor. So you will have to build a flow. Okay. How do you build a flow? Flow here is towards your left side, you will have a section where you will find different nodes. So each of this is known as a node. Okay. Towards your right side, you will have a section where you can find the information about a node. Okay. Or you will find the output section, any kind of changes if you want to make to the flow or the UI, you can, the colors and all the stylings and all, you can do it from this particular right side section. And the section which is in between, this is the editor. Okay, so this is where you will build the flow. Okay, so first what we have to do is we'll just go and check if our model is ready. Okay, so here it is completed. If you see, the model is completed, right? This model is completely built. How do you know that is all the things got filled? And if you see, you got the leaderboard. Okay. So it is giving pipeline 4 is the rank 1. That is, this is the best model based on compared to all the other models. If you see, this is having best RMSC. Okay. And this is the best model for our use. Okay. So what we will first do is we'll create a deployment for this. Okay, we'll understand how the model wants the inputs. In the similar way, we will make a UI. Okay, so it will hardly take 10 to 15 more minutes, people, if you are with me. So let us proceed and first save the model. Okay, so this is the best model, right? Yes, it is on the previous page where you were training the auto AI. Come back to the page where you were training your model. Go to that page. If it is completely finished, if this is finished, you can proceed further. If it is not done, just give it some time, note down these steps, and you can continue with the process once this is done. Okay. As my model is built, my page is not visible. Okay. Is it now visible? Now is it fine? Yes. Okay. Right. So here all the pipelines got filled. Okay. So as all the pipelines got filled, if you just scroll down, you will get the leaderboard. Okay, this is what I was talking about. And in this, it found the pipeline 4 is giving the best. The RMSE is good there. It is less, it's the least. Okay, so this is the best model. Okay, the build time for this model is 35 seconds. Here, if you just hover on that particular model, I mean like the pipeline, you will find save as button there. Click on save as. Okay, so it will ask you whether you want to save that particular thing as a model or a notebook. Okay, so you don't want to know the back end how it is getting coded and all, right? I am going to save it as a model. Okay, so select model, give a name how you want to save it. So it is having a very big name here, right? So I'm saying it as insurance experiment model. Okay, and then I click on create. So with this, what happens is our model gets saved. So all the rules which are generated gets saved. Now, once it is saved, it will give you a pop-up like this where it will say your model is saved and you can view it in your project. Okay, so let us go to our project. Click on view and project. Click on view and project, and it will lead you on to your you know page, the model page. If you see, we are where insurance experiment model. Okay, so it will say the model type is a hybrid model. So it will give you the description of all the columns. Okay, now if you have to uh, test this particular model, what you have to do, you have to first deploy this. Okay, to do that, what you have to do is you have to click on promote to deployment space. Click on promote to deployment space. Okay, here previously I did not create any deployments, I don't have any space. So I have to first create a space. Okay, so click on new space, click on new space, give a name to your space, say insurance deployment space. Okay, give some name to your space. It gets validated, and once that is done, you will get this create button. Click on create. Okay, don't change anything, you simply click on create. What we are trying to do is, first we trained the model. Once the model was trained, it gave us all the pipelines. The best pipeline, we are saving it. Okay, we are saving it in the form of a model. That model, we are making it as a deployment, that is end user usable. Okay, when you are deploying it, you have to first create the space. So I have created a space which is named insurance deployment space. Okay, click on close here. Okay, so your insurance deployment space is created. Your just refresh it once and check. You should get the space. Okay, so under target space, now you will be able to see a drop down. Everybody on this page along with me. Everybody on this page along with me. Anybody I hope you have got the promote button, right? Are you all getting the promote button? After you have created the space, you should be able to get the promote button. How many of your models are trained? First of all, tell that to me. How many of your models are trained already? Yeah, so I don't think my internet is stable. That's the reason it is causing a lot of problems. So anyhow, so how many of you could see this promote? How many of you me? Okay, right. Great that you have promoted to your deployment space, right? So now, what did you do till now? You have saved a model and you have promoted it to the deployment, right? So once you are done till here, what you have to do is you have to go and create the deployment. Okay. So I'll show you. Keeping all this in view, I have already created the deployment. So I'll show you that how to work from there. Okay. On the top corner, now you will be able to see IBM Cloud for IBM Cloud Pack for data. Are you all able to see on the top on your Watson Studio page? Everybody, are you able to see IBM Cloud Pack for data on the top? Yes. So click on that IBM Cloud Pack for data. Click on IBM Cloud Pack for data. Everybody, did you all click on IBM Cloud Pack for data? Now, there towards your left side, are you able to see deployment spaces? Are you able to see deployment spaces? Yes. Click on deployment spaces. Click on deployment spaces. Click on deployment spaces. When you click on deployment space, now are you able to see the deployment space which you have created just now? Are you all able to see the name of the deployment space which you have just created? Everybody. Are you all able to see the deployment space which you have just created? It will open the deployment space. There are you able to see the model which you have saved, which you have promoted? Are you all able to see the model name which you have created? Yes. Just hover on it, don't click. Just hover on it. When you hover on it, towards your right side, you will, find a flight symbol kind of thing, aeroplane symbol kind of thing. Are you able to see that? Everybody. Are you able to, when you hover on the, what do you call, the project, the asset there, the model which you have saved, if you just hover on it, towards your right side, you will find a aeroplane symbol kind of thing, rocket symbol kind of. Are you able to see that? How many of you are able to see it? No. Okay. Just give me a second. I'll try to show you. By then, all of you from the drive also download the JSON file, which is there. The other file, other than the CSV file, whatever file is there, please download that one also. By the time I get back, please download the JSON file. For the people who could not follow the steps, so here, this is the page where you will be when you click on this IBM Cloud Pack for data. From here, click on deployment spaces. Click on deployment spaces. So it will take you to the deployment page. Where you will find the deployments which you have created. So So this is the deployment which is available. Okay, this is the deployment which I created. So I'll just open this deployment. So under assets page, you will find your model which you have promoted to this particular deployment. Okay, so I hope everybody could come till here. Anybody who did not come to this page, anybody who did not come to this page, I hope everybody came till here, right? Here on this page, so this is the model which I saved. If you just hover on it, here you have this rocket symbol. Okay, I don't know what you people call that symbol to me. So it's a kind of rocket symbol which is present here. Click on that particular symbol. Okay, so now it will open you another page where it will ask you to give the name of the deployment. Okay, so before that, it will have two options, online or offline. Okay, so it is having an option online or offline. Select online. What do you mean by online and offline deployment is when your model, you want to give some input and you want to predict, it becomes an online deployment. Okay, batch deployment is you have a set of data. Okay, you have a group of data there, you want to give that data and you want predictions for only that data. Okay, no real time data predictions you want. So if you want in that way, you have to go to batch. But as I want to give some real time values from the user and see, I'm selecting this online deployment. Okay, give the deployment name, insurance prediction. Okay, and click on create. Click on create. Okay, so this will create the deployment. Everybody done till here? Naveen, did you get it now or still any problem? Did you get it now or still any problem? Done. So now go to deployments. Just click on deployments. Go to deployments and you will find the deployment which you have created. Okay, so if you see, for me it is in progress. Okay, so for you, you might have already, I mean, like this would have, like after it is done, you will get deployed. Okay, now click on this deployment. Click on this deployment. Click on this deployment. And you will get the link using which you can use the model. Okay, so this is the link with which you will be using the model. Okay, got it everybody? Got it till here? Now, if you want this model to be used anywhere in your program, okay, in your Java or any other thing, you can use the code which is here. Okay, so if you want to use in Java, select Java. Here you will have the code of how you can use it in your Java code. If you want to use it in Python, click on Python and here is the code of how to use it in Python. Okay, if you want to test your model before using it, you want to test it, just click on test. Just click on test and it will ask you all the input parameters which you mentioned. Okay, so I'll give the age, the gender, the BMI, some value. Children, it is an integer value, so I say 0 children. Smoker, yes or no, I say yes, and I say the region to be southeast. Okay, and now I click on predict. So when I give the input, it analyzes this input and gives you a prediction to be 18,000. So expenses are 18,000. This is how your model is working. Okay, now we'll go and try to create a Node-RED UI for it. So instead of you giving the input here, you want a URL, right? So the user usable one. So that we'll be creating. Okay, as the time is less, I will be giving you the flow. Okay, so in the guided project, you will have all the steps again. If you want, you can go through. Okay, what we will be doing is, everybody click on this, go to Node-RED, click on the three lines on the top right corner. Everybody till here came till here on the Node-RED page. Quick yes or no on chat, please. Yes. So now click on these three lines on the top. Okay. Go to manage palette. Click on manage palette. Click on manage palette. Now click on install. From here, go to install and click on install. Search for dashboard. Search for dashboard. Node-red-dashboard. You can either type everything or just type dashboard and the second one, whatever is here. There, click on install. If it is already installed, no worries. If it is not, just click on install. Okay. Node-red-dashboard. This one. Okay. When you search as dashboard, you will get the second option. Okay. And click on install here. Everybody installed this one, Node-red-dashboard. Everybody. Yes. So once this is done, just click on close. Just click on close. Done, everybody? Done, everybody? Now what you do is click on the three lines and click on import. Click on import. Everybody, did you download the JSON file from the drive link which I have given? Everybody, did you download the JSON file? Okay. Now when you click on import, it is asking you to select a file to import, right? Click on this, select a file to import, and go to the place where you have downloaded the JSON file, insurance_flow, and then select open. Select open. Click on open. Okay. Done, everybody? Now click on import. Click on import. So on a new flow, you will get the entire flow like this, which I have already built. Okay, I'll explain you this, don't worry. Just import it first. Everybody done till here? Done, everybody? Right. So what we are trying to do here is, we have to first take the inputs from the user, right? How do we take input from the user in general? Generally, how many of you here know HTML? In a web page, how do we take input from a user? How do we take it? In a form, isn't it? Yes. By using a form, right? Yes. So here also we have a node named form. If you just search, you have a node named form. Okay. I have used that form node. Okay. Just open the form node. You will have something called as group and group here. Okay. I'll explain you what is a group while I'm showing you the UI. Okay. You can change the group. You want to insert the flow in the chat. It will not take the entire flow, I hope. Here you will miss few things. Why you are not able to download the code? Are you not able? Okay, fine. So understand, in every page, for every UI page, okay, take a website. In a website, you will have multiple pages, right? Each page in Node-RED is known as a tab. Each page in Node-RED is known as a tab. And each page will contain some elements, right? Different elements will be having. So when you group elements together, it will form a group in Node-RED. Okay. So to change the group name and tab name, you can simply click on Add New UI Group. Click on this pencil symbol. Okay. Here you will be asked on which page you want to add a group or remove a group. Select Add New UI tab. Click on this pencil symbol. Give some name to the group. Okay. Sorry, tab first. You will understand it when you see the UI. I'll show you that. So I named the tab to be insurance prediction. And here I'm naming the group to be input data. Okay. And I click on add. Okay. So I have created a group and a tab. So tab is the page of the website and group is the element in that particular page, is a division in that particular page. What all information I have to take from the user? The age of the person, the sex of the person, the BMI, number of children, the smoker, whether he's a smoker or not, and the region in which he lives. Okay. So you have something called as label and name. Okay. Label is something which is visible on the UI. Okay. As a placeholder. Okay. Label is something which is visible on the UI as a placeholder. So I am just making the difference between them by making the first letter capital so that you can understand it while I'm showing it. Okay. So smoker region. So I make all the fields to be required. Okay. And specify the type of the values which you are going to enter. Age is of number type. Sex is of text type because you are entering whether it is a female or male. BMI is of number type. Children of number. You just can go to the drop down and check what are all the types present. Okay. Like that I have mentioned all the types. Now I click on done. Okay. So I am removing it from the other flow. Okay. I have connected the form node with the message.payload. I'll show you what is this message.payload in a while. Now I deploy my flow and I'll see how the form is looking. I have disconnected the remaining part of the flow if you see. Okay. So only the form is connected with my message.payload. Okay. I have deployed it. Now what I'll do is I'll copy the URL which is on top till .net, not the entire one, till .net. Just copy it till .net. Open a new tab, paste it there and say /UI and hit an enter. And hit on enter. This will take you to your UI. So my tab name is insurance prediction. So this is my page in which the input data is here. Okay, so here I can enter the values. So I'm entering the values. Okay. Right? Now I click on submit. As you see, there is nothing which is happening on this page. It is nothing is happening because we did not connect it with the remaining part of the flow. Ma'am, you connected to something called as message.payload. What is this? This is the developer output. Okay, so whenever you write few lines for yourself, right, which are not visible to the users, right? So those outputs you can see using this message.payload. Now to see the output which the form is giving, if you just click on this box symbol, which is towards your right, on the right pane, you will get something like this. Okay, you just open it You have got all the input which you have just entered in the form. Okay. Now, if you see this small age, sex, BMI, and all were the names of the form. Okay. Under name, you gave the name to the age, sex. So these are acting as the variables which are holding the value which you entered in the form. Okay. So these values which you entered in the form uh, are those values are held by these variables. Okay. Now what I am doing is I am globally setting these variables. How do I do that is I write a function. Okay, I open a function node and I say global dot set, and I'm setting these values. All these values I have made them global. I made them global. Okay, so to access the value from here, okay, so this age if you have to access, it is inside message dot payload. So what I'm saying is I'm making a variable, global variable age, and the value of that global variable must be message dot payload dot age. So whatever this variable age is containing inside message dot payload, that value I'm storing it in the global variable age. Like that I'm doing for all the other variables. Then I have to actually get an access to the machine learning repository. Okay. In the machine learning repository, I have deployed my what do we call our model. So first I have to get the access to that machine learning repository. To get the access key, I have to give the API key. Okay. Where do I get this API key from is Yeah. Okay. So I got an emergency call, so that I had to take. Right. So here, everybody click on manage. From there, if you just click on IAM, access IAM, so there you will be able to see API keys towards your left side. Okay, so here you will be able to see API keys towards your left side. Click on that API keys, okay, and click on create an IBM Cloud API key, right? Give a name to it, give a name to that particular key, give a name to that particular key. See, open a new tab, some random tab, okay? There you will find manage on the top. Okay, so on the navigation bar, so if you just click on, not on the page which you have already opened, otherwise go to your dashboard. If you can't find anywhere else, go to dashboard. If you just see the page where your Watson Studio Get Started was there, on that page you will find on the top in the navigation bar manage next to catalog docs support. Okay, so if you just click on manage, there you just click on access there IAM you will be finding, just click on that access IAM. There you will find towards your right side API keys, click on that, and then click just type the name to be insurance API key and click on create. Okay, once you click on create, you will get a API key created. Okay, so this is the API key which got created for me. I'll click on copy. Please download and keep it with you so that you can use it in further. Okay, instead of creating always, you download and keep and use that API key whenever you want. So just copy this API key, go to your Node-RED, and here change this API key. Okay, change the API key, right? Then what I'm doing is, in message.headers, I'm telling which type of information will be coming, how the information has to be sent. I am sending the information in encoded format, URL encoded. Okay, so application slash that. Now I am asking permission to the IBM Cloud to grant me permission with the API key. So this grant type means that. Okay, so this is the URL. Okay, cloud URL, and I am passing the API key here. Okay, so this is how you actually set the information. Now this information has to be given to a URL, that is the global machine learning repository URL. To that, whenever I pass this information, it will give me an access token. Okay, so I'll click on done here, connect my form with the function node. Okay, and connect this to a HTTP request. That is, I'm sending this information to a URL. This is the global URL, machine learning URL. Okay, and make sure on the bottom parse JSON is selected. Okay, in the drop down you have to select a parse JSON object. What do you mean by this is, you will get the output from this URL as a JSON object. Okay, now click on done. I again remove the remaining part of the flow and I click on deploy. Okay, I'll show you how you are getting the access token. I remove the previous output which you got in the developer output section also. I go to my UI and I submit it now. Okay, so now let us see what is happening. You got the output. If you see here, you got the form output from here, from this message.payload, and the access token from the other message.payload. Okay, so this one from the HTTP request. If you just hover, you will see from where you are getting it. This is the access token which I got. Now, using this access token, I will go to the model which I have deployed in Watson Studio. How? Just open this pre-prediction node. I've taken another function node. Okay, where what I'm doing is, I am taking the inputs. Okay, so the input which I have globally set, those globally set values, I am getting them and storing in variables. Okay, so in a variable named age, I'm storing the age, global age value. Okay, like that, I'm storing all the values. Then I am taking the access token which I have got here. Okay, so this is the access token which I have got. It is also inside message.payload. Okay, so message.payload.access token. This will give me this access token, and I'm storing it in a token. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm saying in the headers how the information is passed. I am giving this information in the form of a JSON. Ma'am, why did you give JSON? Let me show you. If I just open my data, the test data, and if I just click on the code, how is your input? It is all in the form of JSON. Okay, so it is taking in the form of JSON. Okay, it is taking in the form of JSON, right? So that's the reason here I am telling the content type is JSON and the authorization type is barrier. How do you know that the authorization is barrier authorization? Again, if you just go to API references, what is written here? Barrier type. Okay, so I've set the authorization type to be barrier type, and I'm passing the token, the access token which I have got. Okay, and I'm accepting the JSON type values only, right? Then here in the message.payload, that is what I have to give as an input, that I have storing in message.payload. Okay, and here I give input data. So this is all what I copied from test. If I go to code, whatever I am getting here, that I copied. Okay, so let me show you. I'll give some values. 19, female, BMI is some 27.2, and I'll make it as 0. Yes, and region I'll say southwest this time. Okay, now when I click on predict, and now if I open the body, then it will give all this information. I don't want values to be these values, so I don't copy this. Rather, I copied this one till values and I pasted it here. Okay, so this is where I got the format from, how the model is going to accept the values. And in double brackets for values, I have given my values, which I have fetched from the user. So the age variable contains the age which is given by the user, sex, BMI, children, and all. Okay, so now this information, I click on done. I again take a HTTP request, and this information I'm passing to my API. Okay, so remove this URL, go to your Watson Studio. Under API references, this URL is there, right? Just copy this URL and paste it. 1 second. Right. And paste it here. Okay. Now click on done. Connect it to the pre-prediction node, and I'll show you the output. Remove this. I remove the remaining part of this, and I click on deploy. Okay. Now I go to the Node-RED, give some inputs, and click on submit. Let us see what is the output which we are getting in the developer console. Okay. Here, if you see, I have got the predictions. Okay. I forgot to remove the previous output. I'll remove it and I'll again show you. Okay. I got the access. Now it these values are sent to the URL, that is the model which we have built, and from the model we are getting the predictions. Okay, so if you just go to values, here you have your prediction. Okay, now I don't want the output to be here. I want the output to be on my UI. So for that, I write a small function node which will fetch this output. So I copy this here path, copy the path. Here, you have 3 options. The first option is copying the path. I copy the path. I say message.payload dot, and I give the path which I have just copied. I paste it. Okay. I store all this in message.payload variable. Okay. And I click on done. Now, this function node I connected with the text node. Okay. So this is my text node, which I wanted to see on the same page, right? So I select the insurance prediction tab and I click on done. Now I connect this HTTP request with this function node. What will happen is whatever output it is giving, it will go to this function node and it will parse this output. That is, it will fetch only the output from this particular JSON which we have got, and it will display it in the text node. Okay. Now deploy this flow, go to Node-RED, submit your information, just wait for a while, you will get the prediction here. Okay, so 1 second. Payload, I pasted it 2 times, so I'll remove one, deploy it. Just wait for a minute, you will get the output here. Okay, so this is how your UI works. Any questions? Any more doubts you have? Done. So if you have any questions for me, you can, if you are not able to understand anything now, you can write to me at gayatri@thesmartbridge.com. Okay, or otherwise follow the steps in our student dashboard here. Just open the link, enroll it, and all the steps are here. Okay, so deploying, how to save the model, how to deploy the model, how to build the Node-RED UI, everything is here. So in this page, you can go check out and complete your project. I hope I gave you all the insights about the project. If you have anything, you can definitely write to me on my mail ID. Any of further doubts, you can contact the mentor from the platform also. Thank you very much for being here. If you have any queries, I'm open for them. Any more queries? Okay, so I hope everything was clear for everybody. App deployment. Okay, so what was the issue?